Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. Alright, you guys, so the first thing that we're going to talk about today is the Kardashian-Odom conflict, confusion, drug scandal, whatever you want to call it, the strangest thing. So, for those of you guys, I'm sure everybody already knows, the story broke pretty much last Sunday, right before the VMA Awards, that Lamar Odom has a raging crack addiction, and that is the reason why he and Khloe's relationship, their marriage, is on the rocks. Now, you guys, we've been hearing stories in the past, for the past few months, about all of these different affairs that Lamar has been having. It's been woman after woman that's come out that said that he's done this with them, planned children with them, flew them around the world, on vacation while he was with his wife, paid for things, you know, this, that, and the other. We all know how the side whole story goes. So nothing that was too surprising to anyone, considering he's a basketball player, a fairly known basketball player, you know, with the extra of it being that he's married to a Kardashian. Now, out of all the Kardashians, I've always said that I like Khloe the best. I think Khloe and Lamar's relationship, I always kind of thought of it as, you know, a little bit more genuine than some of the other stories that have come out of that family. It has come out that he has a crack addiction, which is just, I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's just, the story is odd to me. And I'll tell you why I feel like it's odd. Lamar Odom being a basketball player, they are subjected to drug tests now. I thought that there were random drug tests during the NBA. I mean, while you're playing in the NBA, but I was told today that you are not, they're not random if you've never been in trouble for drugs. I guess he's been in trouble for weed way back at the beginning of his career, but since then he hasn't had any trouble. So they only test them at the beginning of the season, and if you haven't had any drug issues, then they don't test you any longer. So that could be the reason why he hadn't been, you know, noticed that he was on crack. Because I'm thinking, like, how long does crack stay in your system? See, I don't know nothing about no damn drugs and shit, but I was thinking, like, I always thought the way crack was, that shit seemed like it stay in your system. You be so fucked up afterwards. Like, it seemed like it's there for a long time. But I guess the drug runs its course like anything else. But so that was one of the things. I was just like, how is it that, and then to be playing at a high functioning sport as basketball, even though he had a horrible season last year. My brother was just like, he sucks, he doesn't even need to play anymore. He had a really bad last season, which was, you know, I don't know, it just seems like it would be hard to maintain a crack habit. Now, I could understand if they said he was doing like something else, but to be on crack, that shit fucks you up so bad. How do you even try to function to show up at a basketball game, not even look like a crackhead? I mean, shaking and shit, scratching, and I mean, you know, all the crack antics that they have. So I don't know. So that part of the story was strange to me. And then the other part of the story that was strange to me is that it seems like with the story coming out that they have made it a point to point out that he's been on it since 2012. Now, these girls that came out of the woodwork who've been saying that they've been having affairs with him, they also said that this has been happening ever since 2012. Something about them keeping on pointing out this 2012 is weird to me. I ain't quite putting my finger on it. I don't really know why it's weird to me, but it just seems like there's been such this big media storm, because you guys, for those of you guys who don't know, the Kardashians have the media sewn up, okay? Whatever they want the media to know, they will know. And whatever they don't want the media to know, they will not let them know. Now, you mean to tell me that this story has been held on for all this time, that has never leaked out, then all of a sudden it's this great big old story like this? It's just weird to me. I don't know if Khloe has been caught up in, you know, everybody, of course, we all point our fingers to Kris Jenner, because Kris Jenner is a businesswoman first. And if it's not surrounding anything that has to do with her daughter Kim, then the rest of them is just kind of like, you know, she don't really, I don't think she care about anybody else in that family other than Kim. But I don't know if Khloe has got caught up in the vehicle that she has to kind of play along, because, you know, they're protecting this whole brand, this Kardashian brand. And you know, Chloe can't really come out and say what she wants to say about her husband and her marriage or whatever else. I just don't really know what exactly is going on here, but it just is unfortunate that all this has come out. He's lost. The Clippers have already said that they are not going to re-sign him, so I guess it's time for him to retire or whatever. You know, we all know that he's had a bad time ever since he left the Lakers, ever since he, you know, decided that he didn't want to play there anymore, you know, and had a fit. You know, people were all like, why would he want to play for a team that didn't want him any longer? However, Paul Gasol, he stayed his ass there, right? And he had no more problems. And he was part of that whole, you know, that whole trade for CP3. And, you know, it almost happened, but it didn't. So, you know, I think Lamar was very emotional and didn't realize that it was business and not necessarily anything personal for the Lakers. I mean, you know, the CP3 at the time and still is a very valuable player. But Lamar ain't never been able to get it together ever since he went to Dallas. He's out there fighting and fucking around, cussing folks out in the damn locker room and going off. And them Cuban brothers, is that their last name? Cuban or Cobain or whatever like that? They was just like, get your motherfucking ass, you and your wife, take your ass back to LA. I don't care where you go, you got to leave out of here though. Ever since then, he's just been kind of floundering. It's been sad. So that's it. It's very strange though. I know one thing, that damn Kanye, you better watch out. Y'all watch Kanye when he was on Kris Jenner's finale? I didn't talk about, you know, I wasn't here last week for the top of the blog, so I didn't get to talk about it, but I just was like looking at it and I was like, what is going on here? It was so weird to hear him. I almost want to say they had done slipped that boy a Mickey. You know, my friend was trying to explain to me that he's shy and that, you know, this is the real Kanye West and this, that, and the other. But, and I do get some of that. Like, I do see that, yeah, his whole rap persona is nothing but a persona. But this was so on the other end of the spectrum. I was just like, whose voice is that? I mean, I don't expect him to sound like no rapper and, you know, be like the, you know, all Kanye'd out like how he is on stage and everything. But wasn't it just strange? Now I have something to live for. I have two people to live for. He's my light. She makes me really happy. She's my joy. Yeah, okay. All that is good. I'm not saying that is bad. You know, he should feel that way about the mother of his child. I'm not saying that it's bad that he was saying that thing. It was just like, it was weird to hear him. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm not hating. There's no hateration. Good for Kim and Kanye, but I'm just saying it was an odd little thing. The baby is as cute as can be. People are so stupid to say, you know, all the negative shit that they say about the babies. I mean, just people are retarded. That's why a lot of these stars don't even like to put their children in the spotlight. I mean, you guys ain't even seen that damn Lauren London's child with Lil Wayne yet. I ain't seen one picture of that child. It's a boy, right? So anyway, getting off. I don't know why Lauren London came in. I just keep on wondering why we ain't never seen that baby. But we gonna see what happens with this story with Chloe and Lamar. Supposedly he's back home now. Him and Chloe are trying to work on the relationship. And she's not necessarily ready to give up the marriage at this time. So we'll see. We'll keep our ear to the streets and I'll let you guys know if anything else happens with these two. The VMAs I did not watch because I was out for my girlfriend Simone's birthday. Her birthday was just on Tuesday, but last Sunday we went to this place called 10th and Piedmont out here in Atlanta, which is like in a really predominantly gay area of Atlanta. It was at a gay bar. I mean, it wasn't a gay bar. It was just a regular restaurant. However, they have like a drag show there, and the shit was so much fun. If you guys have Instagram, you guys go on my Instagram. I did post one of the girls getting her full twerk on. I'm just so amazed at the transformation that these men, you know, go through to become these women. So, but anyway, I'm saying all that to tell y'all that I was gone last Sunday and I didn't watch the VMAs, and I still haven't watched the VMAs because sometimes it's hard to watch a 3-hour telecast of an award show that's already happened, and you already heard all the stories about it and kind of seen the clips. So I haven't seen it, and I apologize. As you guys know, I do usually like to do music awards, but I usually like to do the Negro Awards, okay, the BET Awards with all the shenanigans that be going on there. But there was quite a few shenanigans in this one too. First of all, gotta say what is it called? The Vanguard Award that JT, Justin Timberlake, you guys, that y'all know that's my ex-boyfriend in my mind. He don't know that he used to go with me, but he did for a long time. I just love Justin Timberlake. Awesome performance. you guys, I was so amazed at, and this is, I guess, where the music director and the stage director and all these people come into play. I was so amazed at who is the person that puts these songs together where it's only a few verses of it, and they, you know, make the transition so it goes to the next song and everything is seamless, and you know, who's directing them to go from this stage to that stage and get the dancers and all. I mean, you guys, I'm telling you, when I tell you that that was a damn concert, it was so entertaining. I loved it. I feel like Justin Timberlake totally did deserve it. I mean, what a well-rounded, talented boy. I mean, this boy sings, he acts, he's funny, you know, he is convincing. Nobody believes that he's trying to be anything that he isn't. You guys, I just love Justin Timberlake. I do. I'm gonna leave Justin Timberlake alone. No, I'm just gonna tell you guys, I really did enjoy his performance. Now, I did watch the Miley Cyrus thing, and y'all know I was really trying to be there for Miley. I did talk about how I thought that she was just growing up and that we need to give her the room and the space to be and do whatever she was, and I do still feel that. Okay, people go through whatever changes they need to go through to, you know, make that next step, and I guess it's harder for people who are in the spotlight, especially people who are considered child actors, child stars, to, you know, make the jump, and still for people to still kind of understand where they're coming from. So all that being said, Miss Miley got her ass up on that stage, and I was just like, now what is going on? I'm all for free expression, but these little twist things on the top of her head, they almost wore me out. It was not attractive. It was not even cute. I mean, if she was going for shock value, then she had done it. She got out there with that song, which I actually thought the song was cool. I saw the video of it, but the tongue out thing, like, to me, I don't like people that stick their tongue out. I know people think that that's sexy, you know. I don't like that. You know, years ago, I used to date this guy, and every time he used to see me, he used to go, I couldn't stand it. Could not stand it. He really thought it was sexy, and finally one day, you know, he came by my store, and I was just like, I don't like when you do that. That shit is not sexy. Actually, it looks like you're leering at me. You have a thing with the tongue, so I had a hard time just watching her just try to do it. I was just like, girl, you don't look a hot fucking ass fool. And then for her to be up there with Robin Thicke, you know, everybody was all upset about the way she was dancing on Robin Thicke. I kind of just looked at it as a performance. I didn't get all that bent out of shape and everything. I was more embarrassed for her because I felt like she was on the stage, and in her mind, she thought it was looking a different way than the shit was really coming off to everybody else. You could look at the audience and tell people were uncomfortable. Nobody even really knew what to think of it, you know, and eventually I was just like, I can't even watch this no more. Like, I can't watch this. I know her parents probably was looking at that like, oh my God, this girl has lost her fucking mind. Supposedly she had the most tweets ever per hour, even more than the president did back when he was running, and you know, all of that. So I mean, she did definitely make a big splash. I don't know if it was a splash that she wanted to make. Probably it was, or she wouldn't have done all of that. But yeah, it was just crazy. I was just so, the whole time I was like, y'all don't really have nothing else to say. I haven't seen any part else of the music awards. Yesterday I got home from work and it just happened to be on, and Justin Timberlake's thing was just about to come on, so it was like, that's all I needed to see. So I am gonna watch the rest of it this weekend. But y'all, I mean, I'm sure y'all already know about what then went down. Sierra and Future looked really good. Sierra looked beautiful. Her body is just unbelievable. Who else were some of the little outfits that I thought were really nice? I thought, yeah, I mean, I don't feel like all that, y'all. I just wanted to talk about Justin Timberlake, my ex-boyfriend, and that damn Miley Cyrus. Speaking of the VMAs, the after parties. There was an after party supposedly that everybody went to, and they're saying that P. Diddy and J. Cole got into a scuffle. And I was just like, now, first of all, Puffy is fucking almost 50 years old. Why the hell are you fighting this little ass boy anyway? I mean, I know he ain't little, but I'm saying he young. Like, you shouldn't even be, why are you even worried about what's going on with them kids over there? So when I first heard about it, I was just like, I didn't even really believe it, because I was like, I know Puffy ain't going there. But then it did come out that yes, there was some sort of scuffle. So Nobody really knows what the scuffle was about. First, they said that it had something to do with J. Cole saying something about Cassie. Then they said that Beyonce was in the middle of it, that she was trying to break up the fight. I was just like, now, if I know anything, anybody that has conducted themselves and directed their careers to the T, she ain't fixing to get caught up in no bullshit with these two niggas fighting at a goddamn after party. I know Beyonce was the furthest away. She might have been walking by at the time, but as far as her jumping in, I was just like, man, that's bullshit. Then they said the reason why is because Diddy was real drunk and he walked up to Kendrick Lamar, had a problem with his verse in the King of New York verse or whatever it was, and wanted to, you know, kind of talk to him about it, and there was some kind of confrontation, some words was thrown, and Puffy went to go throw his drink on Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole caught his arm, and that was when the pushing and the shoving went on, and you know, kind of it escalated from there. I guess that story could make some sense. I would hope that Puffy had enough sense to know what Kendrick Lamar was talking about in that song, but you don't never know when niggas get drunk and get to talking, and the ego and all the bravado and the machoism and all that comes into play. Then you get a big old audience of people that are around you and that's watching you, and you know how shit goes. So I don't know if I believe any of them stories, but I guess something did happen in order for them to, you know, for all these tweets and people to be saying something that happened with the two of them. So that's it. Just needed to let you guys know about the damn, you know, the niggatry going on at the parties after the damn VMAs. Speaking of Puffy, I was reading on Straight from the A that Murder Mace is thinking about making a comeback, or there's been all this talk about Murder Mace making a comeback. You guys know Murder Mace, better known as Pastor Betha, Mason Betha, who used to be with Puffy and Biggie and the whole Bad Boy, you know, group back in the day. Shit got too hot on the block for him back in the day, so he had decided that the Lord had called him to the pulpit. Okay, and I was 100% behind him. I thought that was it was a big deal for him to leave all of that behind and go and, you know, work at his calling, which was supposed to be that he was going to be a pastor. Then, since I've been out here in Atlanta, it's been all this little weird kind of talk, you know, kind of cheat about Mace and him frequenting that area that I was just telling you guys about, the Piedmont, where I just went to go see the drag queens. That same area, they say that he frequents that area a lot. I guess there might be some prostitution areas over there or something that he drives around in. Y'all, supposedly some shit had kind of happened with him picking somebody up. It was a whole bunch of shit going on with him and some transvestites back in the day. Then I finally got a hold of some of his teachings and some of his words on video of him in his church, and I was looking at this like, okay, now now I know everybody got their own style, and I'm not gonna doubt the calling if the Lord has indeed called you to the pulpit, but something's a little different about Pastor Betha. But it might be all right. I'm not saying that it ain't, but I'm just telling y'all that it's a little. Anyway, now Pastor Betha, I guess, has decided, you know, there's been a little bit of talk. Drake has been mentioning a lot how he might come back to the stage, how they want to do something together, and, you know, something about maybe them making some music together. They're also saying that Mace is on 2Chainz's newest album that's coming out. He's on a song with Lloyd, I believe, and 2Chainz. So, you know, maybe the fact that they're all in Atlanta, I don't know. All I got to say is I'm gonna need Pastor Mason Betha, Murder Mace, whatever you want to call yourself. I'm gonna need you to commit to one, okay? Either you gonna be a fucking rapper, or you gonna be a man of God, because I'm pretty liberal, okay, and I can usually deal with a lot and let a lot slide, but I don't never really want to see a pastor rapping. I don't want to see a pastor on stage with Drake and Puffy and all the rest of them. that is a little bit keeping it a little too real for me, and I don't think that's something that I want to see. So I'm gonna either need you to be in the pulpit or I'm gonna need you to be at the stage. But all together, I just don't really know about that. How do y'all feel about that? You guys really even checking to see Mase at this time with the whole Ritalin, you know, the Ritalin haze, the, you know, the kind of was Mase slow? He just seemed like he was a little. Yeah, y'all let me know what you guys think about that story. Are you guys checking for Mase, or you think that he needs to stay where he's at? Alright, you guys, my boy 2Chainz. 2Chainz. I ain't said that in a long time. 2Chainz was on the bus going through Oklahoma with his crew, I guess going from show to show or whatever, and the bus was pulled over by the police. 2Chainz and his crew had decided they was not going to open the bus up to the police because they had no real cause for pulling them over. The police are saying that they were speeding, and that was the reason why they pulled him over. I will say that, you guys, now I'm square, okay? I don't hang out with drug dealers. I don't know people, you know. I don't, you know, have no friends that do drugs and be hanging out with the entertainment group and all of that. I don't, none of that, okay? But even I know that down south, when you go through the Texas, Oklahoma, all in them little states in there, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, all that, there's a lot of drug running that goes through there. So the police really do concentrate on pulling buses over, especially if it looks like it's a fucking tour bus. They pulled this bus over. They refused to open the doors. There was a standoff for like 9 hours, okay? They told the police officers that they needed to get a search warrant before they got their ass on the bus. Well, the police was like, okay, we're gonna go get a search warrant. They went and got a search warrant, finally got up on the bus, arrested everybody, charged them with, you know, obstruction of justice or something like that, charged everybody a $2,000 fine, and supposedly they found drugs on the bus. Now, we don't know what drugs was on the bus. I'm thinking most likely weed. I don't know why they just won't even legalize weed, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, they're saying that 2Chainz had weed and stuff on his bus, and why don't they leave these rappers alone in this weed? Okay, they gonna smoke the weed. I'm telling you, I don't understand. I don't even think weed is a drug, and I'm not a weed smoker. Anyway, that's it. We're gonna see what charges come forth. 2Chainz doesn't seem to be too worried about it. He's going on about his life, going on about his day. He's still performing on tour with, I think they said T.I. and Lil Wayne. I think they're all on tour together. 2Chainz is really having a good year. I hope nothing major happens to kind of throw him off track, because I do like 2Chainz. I do like 2Chainz. So anyway, that's it. 2Chainz might be going to jail for drugs on his bus, y'all. I'm sure he got a weed carrier though, somebody to take the fall. Just letting you know. So I haven't watched any reality shows, so I don't really have any recaps on anything, so I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of some reality show quickies right now. First on the list is Lil Scrappy. Lil Scrappy and Bambi. Okay, Lil Scrappy from Love and Hip Hop ATL and Bambi from Love and Hip Hop ATL Basketball Wise LA. You guys know that they are an item now. They are seeing each other. They saw each other some years ago. They were boyfriend and girlfriend some years ago, and it looks like they have rekindled the romance. They were out the other night, stopped at a gas station, 2 o'clock in the morning. Some guy walks up to him, decides that he wants to say some shit about Bambi, you know, and Scrappy had to put them paws on him. Scrappy and the guy got into a fight. Somebody got it on video. The police was called. Scrappy was... Now, I've heard a couple of things. I heard that he was arrested, and then I also heard that he was not arrested. It's not going to affect his probation, that the other guy was the antagonist. So I don't really know what it is, but we do know that the police was involved in the altercation, and that Scrappy was protecting the honor of his girl Bam. Your boy Waka Flocka Flame is the newest addition to Love and Hip Hop ATL cast, now that Lil I was about to call her Lil Kim. K. Michelle is no longer on the show. They put Waka Flocka Flame in, and you guys know what that means, right? That means that his mama is on the show as well, y'all. Yes! We get Deb Adney every Monday night, y'all. I cannot wait. I didn't see it coming. But Mona had to know that everybody really loves Deb Adney for her rawness and just her realness, and then of course that damn voice. And I'm gonna really have to get my throat lozenge game together to to imitate her all next season, but I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's the new addition to Love and Hip Hop ATL. Congratulations go to Rashida and Kirk, who did welcome their baby boy Carter into the world last week. Both baby and mama are doing fine. Mama said that Kirk has been there every step of the way and that he is a good father. Tamar and Vince, they have penned a relationship book that's going to be available for all of you guys who want to know how to make your relationship as strong and sturdy as theirs. J-Lo will be back on American Idol after American Idol had kind of a horrible last season. They have decided that they're going to bring J-Lo back. She is the only judge that's on the panel right now. They did approach Kanye West. Kanye West turned it down. They did approach Puffy. Puffy turned it down, and now they're saying that Puffy turned it down just so that he could avoid even being on this panel with J-Lo. Those two, you guys know they had a romance back in the day that ended very badly, so I guess that's why he decided not to do it. He doesn't need the money anyway. Latavia Roberson, now that's the chick that used to be in Destiny's Child, the one that you don't really ever hear about. Supposedly she has a reality show that's on the way as well. Now I don't really know what it is that we gonna be needing to know about Latavia, but maybe it is something. She might have had some shit that's gone down in her life since she's been after she left Destiny's Child. I mean, we see Latoya all the time, but we don't see the other one. I had a feeling that they was trying to get that girl to the reality show circuit some kind of way when she showed up on Real Housewives of Atlanta as Phaedra Parks' client. You guys remember that? It was interesting that they had her on there. I felt like they was trying to fill it out even back then. So, and she just had a baby. She just had a little baby girl. So maybe it's just gonna be about her life today. That's another reality show on the way. As if we needed another one. Another show that they're trying to get going is one for EJ3. Now EJ3 would be Irvin. What's his name? Irvin. What's his name? Irvin Johnson. Magic Johnson's son. You know, the one who is gay, the one who cross-dresses, the one who is just the most flamboyant. They have been offering him reality show after reality show. And Magic Johnson has been urging his son not to take anybody up on the offer. Obviously, they don't need the money. So it would only be for, it would only be to exploit the fact that he's this 350-pound boy that walk around in little dresses. And, hey, I know people can wear whatever they want to wear. If you want to wear a dress and you a man that's 400 pounds and, don't even have, got full facial hair, don't even look like a woman, not even one little nair, tiny, weeny, little tiny, weeny, weensy bit, then fine. That's what you want to do, fine. I'm not here to judge nobody. I just still don't quite. I thought the whole purpose of cross-dressing was to convince people, but I guess it's not. I guess cross-dressing is really just to satisfy the urge in you to want to cross-dress, right? Y'all, come on now. Y'all help me out. Explain it to me. Some of you guys who might know some cross-dressers or, people who don't want to be seen as a woman but like to dress as a woman. Just y'all explain it to me. The Love and Hip Hop New York cast, they've had some cuts, and I knew that some of these cuts were coming. They had already basically had said it, but just to let you guys know, Consequence and Jenna Penn won't be on there. Rocky Thunder hasn't been asked back. The girl L'Oreal is not coming back, and the chick that wrote the book, what was her name? Winter, whatever her name is, Winter Ramos, she is not going to be back either. Oh, and the girl Kaylin Garcia is not coming back. So you guys can kind of see where the direction of this season is probably going to go, and it's going to probably be with Joe Budden and Tahiri trying to get back together, because they've already gotten rid of the two problems, which is Kaylin and Rocky. They also supposedly added a new girl, Angela Stanton's daughter. And you guys know who Angela Stanton is. Angela Stanton is the chick that's been trying to just get anybody and everybody who will listen about supposedly Phaedra Parks having this whole crime ring, this crime insurance ring, and how Phaedra got all these people in trouble, and how everybody went to jail for her and took the fall for her, and how she was supposed to take care of them when they got out of jail, and she didn't. So that's who Angela Stanton is. She wrote the book, Vibe produced it, and published it, and Phaedra suing Vibe at the time for a couple of $1 million for, defamation character, whatever it was. So anyway, Angela Stanton's daughter is supposed to be the newest cast member on Love and Hip Hop New York. So we'll see how that goes. And lastly, for anybody who even cares, which I think this is probably going to be most of you guys, Chateau Sheree is in foreclosure. Yes, the house that hasn't even been finished is not going to be finished, at least not by Miss Sheree Whitfield, and it is now on the foreclosure block. If you are interested in purchasing the monstrosity that sits on the corner of whatever and wherever it is out here in Atlanta, you can do so. Short sale, $340,000. Alright, you guys, that's it. So we do this every week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure that you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.